Five Ways to Kill a Man by Edwin Brock is a satirical way of telling how the cruel and prudent ways of killing a man are eventually adopted by the human or mankind in the moving eras. Now let's have a look at the summary and its point. This poem basically explains 5 ways to kill a man. Now these are the cruel and prudent ways to kill the man, and eventually the poet substances down to the most simplest and the easiest way to kill a man is to just let him die in alienation, ignorance and loneliness. Let's have a look at the points, please. First way to kill a man. Now as the poet starts the poem, he explains the cruel and prudent way of killing. First way of killing a man is to nail him on a wooden plank and let him die in front of people. Now this was a way used to kill Lord Jesus, and this is known as crucifixion. Moving on, the second way was to kill human or mankind with swords, which was practiced by army soldiers. Then the third way is poisonous gas bombs, which were used by Hitler's henchmen during the Second World War. The fourth way explained is the atom bombs to destroy one set of humankind from one particular place was used by US in one of the wars. And the fifth way, the simplest and the easiest way for a man to be killed is to leave him to die in alienation and ignorance. Now let's have a look at the descriptive part. The very first stanza of the poem, 5 Ways to Kill a Man, begins with the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The method used to torture him and kill him are termed as cumbersome for the poet. A whole crowd walks up a hill as they force him to carry the cross upon his back. Earlier, Saint Peter had denied thrice to have known him when he was asked whether he was in the company of Jesus. The cock crowed to remind Peter that Jesus had predicted that Peter would deny Christ thrice before the cock would crow. Jesus was nailed to the cross and the cross was then pulled erect. Later on, Christ was asked to remove his cloak so that he would not be able to have a proper burial, and his corpse would be left on top of the hill, semi-clad. Christ was tortured in many ways. Now, in the first paragraph, the poet is actually trying to explain the crucifixion of Lord Jesus. This whole method was another cumbersome. The term used by the poet is cumbersome, crude and cruel way of killing a human. When Christ asked for water, they gave him sponge soaked in vinegar, tied to a rod, which they put in his mouth. Eventually, Jesus died and they waited there and watched him die. This was the most cruel way of killing a person. Moving on, the second stanza. The second stanza talks about the medieval age, when wars were fought for the sake of crown and honor. This is a reference to the Wars of Roses that were held in 1455 to 1485. A series of dynastic wars fought between the houses of Lancaster and York for the throne of England. There, the knights foolishly slaughtered each other with hook axes and hammers which could pierce the armor with ease. They rode and faced the opponents on white horses, attacking them with swords, ready to kill or to be killed. The poet calls this game of jousting as futile because nothing was accomplished. One man always ended up losing his life and the other celebrated his death. Now, in the second stanza, the poet is trying to explain another way of killing which was taken up by the medieval ages, wherein when they fought actually for honor and for throne. Now, he said that eventually nothing happened. One was killed and the other person eventually celebrated deaths only. Similarly, crowns used to go on conquering sprees, fighting huge wars to annex small kingdoms. Two countries would go to war and thousands of people would die on both sides before one prince would emerge as victorious. Then the prince would throw a banquet celebrating his victory and the deaths of numerous people that he killed. Third stanza. The third stanza of 5 Ways to Kill a Man is about the First World War. Now, the poet is considering all phases of life, from the crucifixion of Lord Jesus to moving on to medieval age when swords and axes were used to kill each other just for thrones and princes. Now, moving on, he is explaining the era of World War. The poet says that this period did not require princes or loyal knights to kill. They only needed the favorable wind direction to blow the deadly gas towards their opponents. The poet here refers to the poisonous gas warfare that was popular during the World War. In 1950, the British used gas cylinders on the Germans. However, the wind direction changed and the gas came back to the British soldiers and poisoned them. Edwin Brock also describes the horrors of bombs. Mud, blackened boots, plague of mice, and the miserable living conditions in the ditches. The poet talks about all those patriotic songs that were sung to boost the morale of the soldiers and make them feel proud of their for killing their enemies. Now, in this paragraph, the poet is explaining the time of the First World War, where actually there was no requirement for princes, loyalness, and thrones. The only thing that was required was wind to be in favor and poisonous gas to be floated along with the wind streams. The poet has actually explained all the various miserable and dirty conditions where the soldiers used to live and eventually used to celebrate killing each other. Fourth stanza. The advent of the airplane and the atomic bomb is what the fourth stanza is all about. Here, in this very stanza, he is referring to the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan by the US during the Second World War. He says that this is required, an ocean to separate you, referring to the cultural gap between America and Japan. Two systems of government, referring to the difference in the administrative systems of the two countries, a nation's scientists and several factories to produce lethal weapons of mass destruction like an atomic bomb. This horrible act of mass killing was executed by a psychopath, possibly referring to the President of the USA, Harry S. Truman, who authorized the bombing on Japan. Land that no one needs for several years is a reference to regions of Hiroshima and Nagasaki which were completely destroyed by the effects of radiation. Now, in the fourth stanza, the poet is trying to explain the era where bombings were used to actually kill away or finish away an entire living on land. These were bombings done of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan, done by USA. And these weapons of mass destruction were pulled up by a psychopath and the President of US, Harry S. Truman, who had authorized these bombings. The last and the final stanza talks about the far simple and more direct methods to kill a man being used these days. The poet says that these methods described in the first four stanzas were too cumbersome. The simpler and direct method to kill someone is by leaving the victim somewhere in the middle of 20th century. Here, Edwin Brock is referring to the miserable and tragic conditions which were prevalent after the Second World War, which included poverty, hunger, malnutrition, diseases, religious intolerance, and joblessness. In such terrible conditions, man was already dying of pain every day in order to survive. This is all for the day. Thank you so much and all the very best for your exams.